It is all over. Words that Mike Goldberg has made famous. You know the UFC turned 19 yesterday? Did you know that?
Happy birthday to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Do you know that when Obama clinched the election, people tweeted, "It is all over"?
It is.
They really did, which I thought was pretty cool.
Did you actually plan to, like, okay, this is my signature, or did people just pick up on it?
They just picked up on it. I said it one time, years and years and years ago, Michael, and then I listened to one of the opens later. I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. And I did say, "Here we go," too, and now Bud Light kind of put that one in their pocket.
So UFC 1, did you watch it?
UFC 1, I did not.
Do you remember who it was?
UFC, of course, Hoist Gracie.
Right. And
McNichols Arena, November of 1993.
I guess you do remember it.
Yeah, of course.
Gerard Gordeau?
Yep. With one glove. Rear naked choke. They didn't know what this little 180-pound dude was doing in his pajamas, choking these big dudes out who could kick him in the head.
So
the greatest.
What was your first UFC?
My first UFC was Ultimate Japan, December of 1997. Randy, the Natural Couture, won the heavyweight championship. He had just upset the young phenom Vitor Belfort, and they won the heavyweight championship against Maurice Smith. Weird. But the biggest thing in mixed martial arts, it was the UFC debut of Frank Shamrock, Ken Shamrock's brother. And he armbarred an Olympic gold medalist in 22 seconds.
Ken was in UFC 1?
Of course he was. Ken's the world's most dangerous man.
Okay, so we learned this week, today, I'm not sure when it was news in Brazil, that Anderson Silva is not going to fight to the end of 2013. That's a blow to the UFC, that the UFC is finding it difficult to find stars right now.
Well, keep in mind, though, too, that Anderson's been busy. You know, he just stepped in and took the fight at 205. He fought Stephen Bonner. He saved the show in Brazil. He offered to save the show when John Jones and Chael Sonnen, wasn't going to happen when obviously Dan Henderson got hurt. Anderson Silva has fought a lot.
Okay, so
and he's been a company guy.
Oh, I wasn't criticizing.
No, but
I'm saying that there is a shortage of guys that people like me would say, man, I got to buy that,
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, so
one of them's fighting this.
Right, let's leave that name to the side. Let's go to UFC 154 in Montreal this weekend. It is GSP's return 19 months out. He faces Carlos Condit, who hasn't fought in 9 months either. Do you think GSP can be the GSP of old?
Absolutely, and I think he might even be better. He might have been able to take all this pressure off himself mentally in the time away, get away from the different types of training, improve himself overall as an athlete, become more explosive. He does gymnastics. George Rush St. Pierre is one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. George St. Pierre won your Man of the Year contest the same year Sidney Crosby scored the goal in overtime to win the gold medal.
Well,
yours, yeah.
Just to confirm, I don't personally have a Man of the Year
Well, that's fair. I get that that's a good point, though. But you know what? I'm excited about George. I will tell you, though, Carlos Condit he is the natural born killer. And a very intelligent kid, but he's going to bring the fight.
Okay, so quickly before we go, isn't the logical next step GSP Anderson Silva?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, but that's where we're headed.
Right.
But okay, why can't I know you don't want George to be off again for 9 months, but why can't it happen in 8 months? If it's going to happen, we're going to promote it. We're going to do it at
What's the ultimate fight for you right now?
Right, the ultimate fight for me is John Jones and Anderson Silva. Because I just think physically they match up a little differently than George. Do I want to call George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva? Of course I do.
Why
we'll see John Jones.
Why did that happen?
Jones Sonnen? Because Chael Sonnen is the best talker in the history of the sport. Because he does what you and I try to do every day, and he's even better at it. Because he's been able to talk himself into millions of dollars, and because numbers come. And because he stayed on top of one of the greatest fighters ever for 22 minutes.
That's it. You know what? I'm going to do what he did on the show. I'm walking out.
Oh, I remember. He loved you. I just remembered that.
Yeah, actually, you know what? He and I unfortunately, we've got to be friends, right?
Good.
And it's like, I keep emailing him saying, dude, I want you to hate me. It's the thing I'm most famous for. The guy walked up. Mike Goldberg.
I just remembered that.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
UFC 154 in Montreal. Still some tickets available to see the great George Rush St. Pierre.